Oh man, so the market is not talking about ALGORAND, which continues to bleed, but now is the right time to talk about ALGORAND. So stay tuned. We're going to look at the ALGORAND chart and see what should we be doing right now. We can see Bitcoin continues to struggle, which is causing a lot of the problems here in the market. It's a completely, apart from a few, just completely red market here. Bitcoin is fighting right now to turn green here, but we are just here on a precarious edge at the 41,500 support level. We're currently at 42.5, as you can see here, on a bit of a stronger daily candle today, but we've been fooled a few times here. So, until we start to see, higher highs, and I mean 44.5, I'm not going to fall for this just yet. Okay, guys, so we're still quite a far way off. If I head over to the 4-hourly chart, we will see here on Bitcoin that we've got some work to do. So until we get past here and create a higher high at about 44.5, all of these green candles are not promising for me, because we've come here, tested it once, tested 41.5 twice, 3 times, 4 times, came back down again, and now we're getting a bounce off 41.5 again, which is great. But until we get a full reversal and a high above 44.5, the market is going to continue to be worried. We can see fear and greed index remains here at 24, same as yesterday. It's not getting worse, but it's not getting better. And that is because people are not quite falling for it just yet. And that is why we can see a lot of our favorite altcoins are down today as Bitcoin tries to fight to turn green. Now, one coin I wanted to discuss today, and we would cover it quite a lot here on this channel, is ALGORAND. And ALGORAND, if we just zoom out, guys, let's go back to the daily chart and zoom out. You can see we've just been on an absolute bleed. Remember, when we were covering ALGORAND, we were looking at potential price targets above 255, which was our high, closer to about 275. And now we're sitting, we just wicked here on the daily candle today, down to about 123 here on ALGORAND. That takes you back to pricing we wouldn't have seen until since 7th of September, before the massive run up all the way to 255. So it's very interesting now that you're getting ALGORAND back at prices here, which match up with the pricing we were seeing back in this region here. Very interesting to see that play out currently. And definitely something we want to keep an eye on ALGORAND. Now, the question then remains is, okay, is this, and again, not financial advice, is this a time you'd want to be buying in? Well, for me, this is the criteria which makes me super bullish right now in terms of adding to my position, is the fact that 2 dips here now, we are under our 200 EMA. Okay, so we're under our 200-day exponential moving average, and that gives you confidence that you're normally buying at the cheapest price for that timeline. The last time we were fluctuating, you can see in this period here, we then had a massive rise to the upside. Can we see the same again? Last time we were fluctuating on our EMA ribbon, run to the upside, okay? Similar. So that's what you want to look for, is you want to be buying things at their lows, right? We don't want to be buying here. A lot of people would have been buying ALGORAND here because you would have had mass media coverage. All the popular crypto influencers would have been covering the coin. Who's covering it right now? Nobody, which makes me interested, right? That's when I do care. That's when I want to pull it up and say, oh, how's my portfolio doing? Do I have enough allocation to ALGORAND, and do I want to add some more? Because now's when nobody's interested. Has anything changed fundamentally? No. Do they still have a great founding team in Silva, Mikhaili, and great sound fundamentals? Do they still solve the blockchain trilemma? Do they have fast finality? Do they have good transaction costs, very low transaction costs? Have they solved scalability? Have they had a major hack? No. And so we sit there and we look and we go, okay, hang on a second. So if we believe the narrative is layer 1 solutions, and certain layer 1 solutions are getting the attention right now, we saw Phantom have its moment, we've seen ADA have its moment. Obviously, we have Sunday Swap launching on Thursday, so people are suddenly realizing that ADA has something about it. But what about ALGORAND? It's not in the limelight. So at those moments, now I'm looking at the charts and I'm going, okay, these are great times to purchase. Now, the other thing is, pull up your weekly. On your weekly, we are right at the bottom of our EMA ribbon here. Now, again, look at the times where that's happened before. If you were accumulating in here, you're getting ALGORAND at 80 cents. You're laughing when we're at 250. If you're accumulating here, you'll be laughing when we clear all-time highs here on ALGORAND. Now, let me flip over to the the chart which we've had drawn for a while, which shows our Fibonacci extensions. And you guys will know for a while I've been indicating price targets up at 390 at the Fibonacci 1.618 level. I continue to hold these levels. I expect us to get a good bounce here on the weekly and start to head higher, because all that's happened right now is the market is not understanding what is going on with Algorand, how good a technology is. So in my portfolio, Algorand will have its position. It's not like, oh, I'm all behind Algorand, and if Algorand never makes anything, I'm struggling. No, it's a carefully crafted portion of my portfolio that I allocate, because the way I think about my portfolio is narratives. And in narratives, I have layer one solutions. And in there, I pick my favorite layer one solutions and I allocate a certain percentage to each of those. And so Algorand is one of those. And in times like this, where the price is bleeding and deflated heavily, I look at my portfolio and I go, do I want to add to this? Do I need a higher percentage, or am I happy with where it's at? And if I'm happy, then I won't top up. But when I see these price points, these are the price points I want to be buying at. I'm not buying at these price points. That's green candle disease. That's the FOMO. That's what we need to educate ourselves not to do, is purchase at those price points. Okay, so let's head over again into the daily, and you can see here on the daily, the pattern of events has pretty much been that we've been flipping our EMA ribbon, positive and negative, bullish and bearish, fluctuating, right? So you can see here there's no real pattern right now, although we have been bleeding generally over the long-term run, but it's not super steep, right? It's just a slow decline, a slow bleed, as people have less and less interest in Algorand, and as Bitcoin obviously has a similar bleed, right? It's the same differential pattern following Bitcoin. Now, naturally, we've seen some layer one solutions decouple. Those are the ones with heavy VC interest, heavy sophisticated retail interest, and have managed to get some of the mainstream media attention. Algorand has not had their turn, but guess what? They will have their turn. That's how crypto works. It works in peaks and troughs. It works in cycles, and it comes into fashion and then it goes out of fashion. And that's what's interesting here. So you can imagine here now, let's play out a scenario. If Bitcoin manages to build out a floor here at 41.5, and if Bitcoin posts a higher high at 44.5, okay, so it creates a higher high here. What do you think is going to happen to all of our favorite altcoins? What do you think in particular is going to happen to the solid projects, the ones that have seen bull markets and bear markets before? They're going to explode, right? And then on top of that, what do you think is going to happen to top layer one solutions, where people have now finally started to understand that, Ethereum is not the winner. It's not the be all and end all, right? It's at the front right now. They have the first mover advantage, but there's other great technologies which, through the benefit of launching later than Ethereum, have solved issues that Ethereum can't solve, right? Ethereum has to solve it on a live network with loads and loads of total value locked, right? These smaller blockchains have managed to come out and launch with scalability, with decentralization, all resolved, and low transaction fees. So they have that advantage to lean on. And that is why, if you haven't watched my video where I'm just roaming around with my phone in Dubai somewhere and just talking about why I'm so bullish on Algorand, make sure you go check that out, because I think it's called something like Algorand Sleeping Giant, because it is. And it's one of those projects when you look at it and you go, hang on a second, why has the market not picked up on this? Why is the market sleeping on this? Why are crypto influencers not talking about this project? And I think it's just a matter of time before the market starts to pick up. We get back into an alt season. Bitcoin's roaring, has its move, and then altcoins want to have its move. And then people will start looking at some of these altcoins. But guess what? We can't buy then. We need to buy winter coats in the summer when nobody wants them. Nobody wants Algorand right now. Look at the price point. Nobody's talking about it. It's not trending. It's not fun to talk about. Maybe this video won't get that many views, which is fine. But we need to be topping up. And I want to put on record in this video that we were talking about Algorand right now and took the time to make a video on it at 129, right? At the price point where they flicked to 123 here intraday. We're ready to top up. And when you do that and you follow this behavior as opposed to following what's trending, therefore, then you can miss out on green candle disease. You can start having something better, which is red candle disease, buying when the candles are red, having conviction, believing in the fundamentals, because the fundamentals haven't changed. The white paper suddenly hasn't changed, right? It hasn't been hacked like Solana has, right? There hasn't been weaknesses like some of the many other major blockchains have had. So why then is the price bleeding so far down all the way up to our support line? Now, the other interesting thing to notice here is we are coming to an important support line at 133. Unfortunately, we have wicked below that here. Well, we look like we're going to close below that as well here on the daily candle, which is an important support level here on ALGORAND. Now, next kind of, support and resistance levels really is if you head to the weekly, you really, it starts to become tricky. Really, at that point, you're looking at levels around 102. So you're looking at $1 here on ALGORAND. So whilst I would be looking at topping up now, which, like I've just said, I wouldn't be going all in heavily. I'd be fine tuning my portfolio. If I'm underweight, I'm topping up a little bit, but I'm still looking for lower price points. And if it falls down to $1 or even, to our next support line at 74, at that point, I'm loading the boat much further on these platforms. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Here's an update on ALGORAND, which a lot of people, like I said, have not been talking about. Hopefully you found this blend between technicals and fundamentals useful. The key to this game, guys, and the reason I wanted to post this video specifically, is we need to start thinking in this manner. We need to look for the narratives and the themes and the coins that aren't being spoke about today, but that will be spoken about in a month's time, 2 months' time, 3 months' time. And right now, we were talking about Phantom months ago, and now everybody's talking about Phantom. We were talking about Cardano and Coty months ago, everyone's talking about now. What is the next theme? Will they then start talking about layer 2 solutions? Yes, I think so. I think Matic will have its time. I think Loopring will have its time. I think we'll talk about a lot about ZK and optimistic rollups. I also think other good layer 1 solutions will have the opportunity. Things like ALGORAND, things like Luna. Luna's continued to do well, actually. Things like ALGORAND, particularly, Avalanche has been doing pretty decently as well. It's just, the one that sticks out is ALGORAND, because ALGORAND has just not had its move. It had its move here. Okay, so we had this massive move from July all the way up to September, guys. This is a massive move. So if you bought in here at July at 69 cents and you're out here at 250 in September, that's a massive 2-month move. And you can imagine if we have a similar move to the upside here, you're looking at a $3. That is why my price target of $3.90 on ALGORAND is super realistic given the market and where it's at. But it will rely on Bitcoin heading to higher highs, right? Bitcoin needs to turn around from here. And if it can turn around from here, there'll be a lot of opportunity in some of these beaten up altcoins right now. And ALGORAND is definitely one of those. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you appreciate this type of content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. If you want to join this channel and become a member of this channel, hit the join button below. That way you'll become a loyal member of this channel in the early days, guys. And that way, not only will people know you were an OG and you were here when nobody else was here, just like we are with ALGORAND, also you will have access to our community thread. And in that members only community thread, you'll be able to ask me questions on your favorite altcoins, your favorite charts, your patterns, your portfolio, and I can give you my non-financial advice over there. So consider becoming a member and tapping into that there. Also, the link in our pinned comment will be the link to our free public Discord server. Head over into there, meet like-minded people, talk about crypto. I mean, we want to talk about these kind of things over there. So let's build this community of pragmatic crypto investors. We're not just here pumping the Let's Coin. What's everybody else talking about? Oh, they're talking about Phantom. Let's talk about Phantom. No, we want to find the next projects, and that's what we do in this community. So if you want to be a part of that, head into the Discord, tag me with any questions, and thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.